let us find out I2. I2 is the moment of inertia of section 2 about neutral axis. So first let us write I2 is equal to moment of inertia of section 2 about neutral axis. That should be obtained by the previous formula we have used, moment of inertia of section 2 about own axis plus a d square. Okay, so this will be, again the formula will be bd cube by 12. So for this section 2, b is 50. As you can see, b is 50 here, and d of this section 2 is how much? Is 200. It is given 200 for section 2. So we'll write b is 50, d is 200 cube by 12 plus area is 50 into 200 into this d square. D square means distance of centroidal axis of section 2 to the neutral axis. So now if we look at this image, we are looking at this image here. So this is 200. So its own centroidal axis will be at the middle, and this much section will be 100, and this much section is 50. So the own centroidal axis of section 2 will be at a distance from the bottom is 150 millimeter, and the centroidal axis, sorry, and the neutral axis of the whole section is at a distance of 166.51. So up to this it is 166.51, up to this it is 150, because this is 100 and this is 50. So the distance between these two will be 166.51 minus 150. So let us write here 166.51 minus 150 square. Okay, now let us find out the value. The value will be 336059, 336059 13.43 millimeter to the power 4, as all the dimensions are taken in millimeter. Similarly, we will find I3. In case of I3, look at this figure. The centroidal axis of section 3 will be here at a distance of, this is 50 plus 200, 250, 250 plus this will be at 25, so 275, and the neutral axis it is at 166.51. So we have understood this. B is 200, D is 50 for section 3. Okay, so now we will write B is 200, D is 50, BD cube by 12 plus area 200 into 50 into D square. D we have found out 275 minus 166.51 square. So I3 will be equal to 119784 134.3 millimeter to the power 4. So from here we can say I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, all I1, I2, I3 calculated about neutral axis. So now this can be uh, summed up, and the value will be 284907 234 millimeters to the power 4. Okay, now we have understood, we have found out the I. Okay, we have our maximum Y that we have already found out. We have two values of Y, 166.51, 133.49. So to get maximum bending stress, we 6.51, and that is at the bottom face. So at the bottom face, for this type of loading, at the bottom face there will be compressive load. Now we have to find out the value of compressive load, and for that we will use the bending formula, bending equation, which is M by I is equal to sigma by Y. From here we have to find bending stress, which can be written as M by I into Y. By putting the values, M is given 40 mega Newton millimeter, that was given. So it will be 40 mega Newton mm. We have to convert it into Newton mm into 10 to the power 6 Newton mm by I is 284907.234.9 into Y is maximum Y. Here for max sigma, max Y to be taken. Okay, still it is no audio. Can you hear me now? Okay, let me check. Okay, can you hear it now? Okay, fine. Then let us continue. Okay, why we were putting the value of Y max. So Y max is 166.51. So upon calculating this, we will get 23.377 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, so this will be the maximum bending stress. So maximum, you have to write the answer. Maximum bending stress is 23.377 Newton per millimeter square at the bottom fiber of the bracket, and also you have to write the type of stress is compressive. The type of stress is compressive. Okay, so this is how you have to answer. Answer will be properly adequate. Okay, so in case of unsymmetrical beams, the extra thing you have to do is to find out the neutral axis, and as well as you have to find the moment of inertia of the whole section, of the whole cross section. That is the difference. Or the rest of the thing are same. This is very easy. We will solve one more problem for better understanding. But I think that the chapter is very easy. There is very less number of formulas. Okay, so let us start the next problem. We have a T section over here. We have a T section. T section is this 20 mm thick cast iron beam of T section as shown in figure. The beam is simply supported on a span of 8 meter. Okay, so this is working as a simply supported beam, span of 8 meter. Okay, the beam carries uniformly distributed load of 1.5 kilonewton per meter. (1.5 kilonewton per meter through the entire span. Now determine the maximum tensile and maximum compressive stresses. So you have to find out sigma T max and sigma C max. Maximum tensile and maximum compressive stresses which is caused due to bending is to find out. Now the dimensions here given are 20 mm. This is also 20 mm. This is 100 mm. And this is 80 mm. Okay, so this is the dimensions are given. So in the procedure, you will write given data. In all the subject, you will follow this procedure. Given data, you must accumulate, or you must formulate the problem. So given data is L equal to 8 meter. Okay. In UDL, the rate of loading is 1.5 kilonewton per meter, which is simply 1500 newton per meter. Now you need to find the neutral axis. The first step, always you need to find the neutral axis. So neutral axis, you can understand, will be somewhere between around this region. Just you will get some idea when you start. The CG will be on that particular point, around that point. So you need to find the values. So you take all the centroidal. Hold on a second. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Okay, so we are discussing the how to find out the neutral axis. So let us find the distance of the neutral axis from the bottom face is y. So y will be equal to, say, y bar. Let it be y bar. So y bar will be found out by the formula a1 y1 plus a2 y2 by a1 plus a2. Okay, so with this formula we will name this section, say this section is say 1, this section is say 2, and we just use dotted line to divide them. Now where this A1 is the cross section, is the area of the section 1. Area of section 1 is how much? 100 mm into 20, and y1 is the distance of CG of section 1 from this bottom face, as we have taken bottom face as our reference line. So the the CG of section 1 will be just through the middle. So the distance from this bottom face to this is how much? Is 80 up to this plus 10, because that will be from the middle. This is 20, so it will be from the middle, it will be from 10. So 80 plus 10 will be equal to 90, plus in case of A2 it will be 80 into 20, and Y2 is at 40. The whole length is 80, so it will be through the middle, so that will be 40 divided by A1 plus A2. So it will be 100 into 20 plus 80 into 20. Now we find out the value is 67.77 millimeter. So this y bar we have found out, the neutral axis we have found out, which is at a distance of 67.77 millimeter. Okay, we have found the neutral axis. Now then our task is to find out the maximum tensile and maximum compressive. Okay, so for this type of loading, we can easily understand that the beam will bend like this, and for that I'm drawing this figure just for making you understand. This is not very good quality, just you just understand, that will be okay. This is not even required. So this bottom face or the bottom fiber of this beam will be facing a tensile load, and the top of this beam will be facing compressive load. The top fiber will be facing compressive load and the bottom fiber will take tensile load. Okay, now to find that out, we have found the neutral axis. So if this from the bottom is 67.77, and from the top, it will be distance is, total distance is 100. This is 80 plus 20, 100. So from the top it will be 100 minus 67.77, it will be 32.33 millimeter from the top. That's so the neutral axis is 67.77 millimeter from bottom face, and 32.33 millimeter from the top face. So we have found both values of y max. For the most top section to the neutral axis is 32.33 millimeter, and from the neutral axis to the bottommost fiber is 67.77 millimeter. So we have found two values. Now our formula to be used is m by I equal to sigma by y, where we will put two different values of I. Now two different values of y. Now here m can be found out because of this beam is given. We know the formula for this type of beam. We have found out the moment of maximum bending moment we have found out in the previous chapter. So you will come back to that later, and we have to find out I now. Okay, so I is the moment of inertia of whole beam section about neutral axis, that is denoted as I. I can be written as summation of I1 plus I2, where I1, what is I1? I1 is the moment of inertia of section 1 about neutral axis. Okay, let us find out. So I1 is equal to moment of inertia of section 1 about neutral axis. That again can be written as moment of inertia of section 1 about its own centroidal axis plus a into d square, just we have done in earlier problem. So here we can say moment of uh, inertia of section 1 about own centroidal axis is how much? Look at the diagram, rectangular diagram, formula BD cube by 12. So B is 100, D is 20. Okay, 100 into 20 cube by 12 plus area is 100 into 20 into D square. D means the distance of the centroidal axis of section 1 from neutral axis. Let us come here. This is the centroidal axis of section 1. So from the top section, this much is 10. The whole section is having thickness 20. So middle, it will be 10. And from neutral axis, from this, it will be 32.33. So this distance from the centroidal axis of section 1 to the neutral axis is how much? 32.33 minus 10. So we will write here 32.33 minus 10 square. Okay, by putting these values and calculating, we will get I1 is equal to 1055012 0.5 millimeter to the power 4 is the unit, because we have used all the units in millimeter in this case. I2 similarly, we will not write much here. I2 here again, the B is 20, D is 80. So 20 into 80 cube by 12 plus area is 20 into 80 into, now we have to find D for this case for I2. So from the bottom face, the centroidal axis will be half of the 80 at a distance of 40. So this will be at a distance of 40. So this much will be equal to how much? This is 67. Up to this point, up to this line, it is 67.77. Up to this line, it is 40. So this much will be equal to 67.77 minus 40. So we will write 67.77 minus 40 whole square. By putting the value and calculating, you will get 2087 209 209.9 millimeter to the power 4. As a result, I will be equal to I1 plus I2 will be equal to summation of these two, 314.4 millimeter to the power 4. So we have found I. Now look carefully. If you have any problems up to this point, we can discuss. Please ask whether if you have any problems up to this point. So I think if you solve few problems on this moment of inertia and centroid, you will easily get that, because this is very easy chapter. Little longer, it takes little time, little calculations, but this is very easy. Now just we'll continue as no question has came up. Okay, I have finished the page. Let me get a page. Hold on. Okay, so we have found out I in the previous problem. Now our job is to find out the bending moment. So bending moment can be found out from these. This is new problem, so mark it. So now here, if this is the scenario, this is a simply supported beam and uniformly distributed load. So the maximum bending moment, max bending moment will be at the middle. This is very common sense. We can understand the most, if in this case the failure will occur just at the middle, and because the bending maximum bending moment will be uh, occurring at the middle. So at the middle, the bending moment will be using the formula, or you just simply derive it. It's very easy one. However, I'll write the formula directly over here, because in previous we have discussed a lot of things about it. So it will W into L square by 8. But if you face problem, I can show it. Nobody is in my lobby. Whoever comes, I accept him. However, this uh, okay, fine then. Okay, so max bending moment is WL square by 8. This is the formula. So now the value was, we have written here in given data, loading was 1500 and L was 8 by the formula was 8. So putting the value over here, we can see it is 12,000 Newton meter. But we need to convert it into Newton millimeter, because other cases we have changed the lengths into Newton millimeter. So we have found out all these i's in millimeter to the power 4. So that's why we have to convert it into millimeter, multiply it with 1000. So we will finally get 12 into 10 to the power 6 Newton millimeter. This is the max bending moment. Now we have our bending equation. We will write from the simple bending or pure bending equation. We can write m by I is equal to sigma by y. Here we have to find out the maximum tensile stress and maximum compressive stress. So for max compressive stress will be where? At the top. So in that case, we will use y1 or y value, that will be equal to 32.33. So we will write this y equal to 32.33. Now for max compressive stress. Yes, y equal to 32.33. So we will use this formula. We'll put the values, and I we have found out I. We know the value of m. If we put the value of y equal to this, we get the maximum compressive stress due to bending, and which will be equal to, let's put the values. M value is 12, and then later on 6 zeros, by I is 3142222.4 into y is 32.33, and finally we'll get 123.08 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, so this will be sigma c, as we have written here sigma c. So max compressive stress, or you can write max sigma c, is 123.08 Newton per millimeter square. Now second thing, for max tensile stress, and you have to write this is at top fiber of the beam. For max tensile stress, we have to put where the max tensile stress at the bottom. So from this neutral axis to the bottom, the y is taken 67.77. So y is 67.77. You can put you have to put unit here, so millimeter. Now put the values in the formula. Tensile stress, it will be 1 2, then 6 number of zeros. Okay, 6 number of zeros divided by the value of I, 3142222.4, into this y value is 67.77. Now putting the values and calculating, we can get 258.81 Newton per millimeter square stress. Okay, so this is the maximum tensile stress, and that will be at the bottom. Okay, so video got paused. I think it will come back. Okay, so do you have any questions on this topic? Is this topic clear? Please give me some answer.
Yes, sir, clear, sir.
Okay, so in case of hollow beams, I think also you can find out the moment of inertia, because in case of hollow beam, the moment of inertia only will be different. All other formula will be remain same. So I will skip that topic. I will skip that particular problems where hollow beams are to be used, because you can find out moment of inertia, and you can find out a neutral axis in similar way. And I will send some material on this chapter. And if you have any book or any PDF from downloaded from internet, I think that will be enough. Just solve few problems. Okay, if you have any problems, you can post it on Google Classroom. We will see you. Take photographs and where you are facing problem, and write it up there. We'll discuss. Now we will Okay, our time is up. Our time is up. So we cannot start a new topic over here. We are lacking, very we are having very less time in our hand. It is a very difficult scenario. Still, we have one chapter left. Okay, so from next class, we will start. Fast post your problems on Classroom. Let us have a look on it. Okay, so we will stop here today. We will meet you on the next class. Stay safe.